And you mentioned injuries, of course. That's key to any high school season, but it's also kind of taken its toll on the Bruins as of late.
Yeah, Mark Stewart, broken sternum. He did take a real rattle during the game the other night against the Flyers, and I'm trying to remember who the hit was against, but it was right below us on the end boards when he was. And I remember he was upset with a certain player after he took a real jolt, and I don't know if that's when it happened, but he did finish the game, and then he was diagnosed with and this guy had, I don't know, what was it, like 179 straight games. He was the Bruins Iron Man. And in the defense, that's a heck of a thing to be, because it makes you wonder if the Bruins are going to reclaim Aaron Ward here. Because they traded him to get cap space so they could sign Derek Morris. Well, Aaron Ward was put on waivers by the Carolina Hurricanes, for whom everything has fallen apart this year. And now the Bruins really need a Band-Aid. He's an expensive one to grab on waivers, but he won't be bad coming back from waivers on re-entry. If he gets sent to the minors if he clears, and that way Carolina gets to drop the $2.5 million off their salary cap. Then if they recall him, another team can claim him, and Carolina would be charged half that price. So the Bruins would be able to get him at like 1.25, which is kind of like Andrew Ferent's money.
But it would be the quickest fix, because you're bringing in somebody that's familiar with the team and familiar.
Oh, absolutely! It would be the best thing that could happen to the Bruins right now if they figured out something with the Hurricanes. Some sort of Band-Aid scenario right there. Well, I would like to see them do bigger. The Colorado Avalanche are kind of struggling right now, and John Michael Lyles made a bad turnover that led to a goal against in their game last night. I would love to see them get that kid. This American defenseman has been in the league for a few years now. He's got a lot of skills. Andy Brickley started touting him as somebody the Bruins should target, at least conceptually, when all the talk was about Thomas Caberlet last year, when the Phil Kessel business came up. They still need a guy who can improvise a transition, who has superior skating and puck handling skills. Hey, if they can get a guy like that, I'd love to see him come in, because Dennis Weidman has not performed up to expectations. He's now injured. They didn't want to talk about Weidman's injuries, so but he's not making the trip to Chicago. I don't know what the story is there, but they think he's going to play later in the trip. And Derek Morris continues to get maintenance days. A lot of that's because you got a very jam-packed schedule with the Olympics coming up.
So if they do decide to make a deal, then is that going to cost some of those first-round picks they have stored up?
No, not at this point. Good question, Tim. But Peter Chiarelli has been adamant that he will hold on to those dogs until the trade deadline, and only if the Bruins in the right place to make the right deal for the right guy who's going to have the right effect, and that means you're near the top, and this will put us over. And I think the Bruins still fancy themselves as being that kind of team, but I don't. They haven't had that kind of season, and even though they just had a really nice run, and if you look at their last 10, they look like one of the hottest teams in the NHL. They're not really playing like it at the moment. Mm-hmm. They really struggle to finish. There's no consistency of that. Claude Julien finally admitted that we need to get Mark Savard some scoring on his wings. You know what's funny about that? It ain't just about, Byron Bitts can't put the puck in the net. It isn't just that. It's that Savard's play needs a little inspiration right now. And I think that that's part of what he's talking about.